This meeting is being recorded.
Thanks. Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell Podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. Pleased to be joined by the head boys basketball coach at Clarkston High School. Of course, that is Tim Wasilk. How's it going?
Pretty good. Thanks for having me, Casey.
Hey, no problem. I know. Might as well talk about a big game tonight. It is. Most teams have officially gotten back, or maybe that didn't play or something, because we're now kind of on that. But most teams the holiday breaks over, so now we're kind of in that Tuesday, Friday thing a little bit. And you guys got a big game tonight, a non-conference game. You guys are heading all the way to Lakeland to take on a pretty tough Eagles team. What's that going to be like? And also, how are you guys doing this year?
Yeah, so Lakeland, a very good team, pretty good defensively. I've got a really good player that can go inside and out. That's going to give us some troubles tonight. So, well-coached team. We played them in the past. We know it's going to be a good one tonight. So, season's been going pretty good. We're taking strides, making strides to get better. We've played in. I think we're 6-2 right now. We've won three 3-point games. We've won an overtime game. We've won a 4-point game. So we've been in a lot of close games, which is really great for us as we head into our league in a couple weeks. And as we get into March to be in those types of games. So battled an injury here with John Call, our starting shooting guard, is out for probably another 4 to 5 weeks. He fractured his wrist. So we've had some guys step in and kind of try to help fill that void.
Okay, so let's kind of talk about some of the players that you have that have really kind of stood out for you this year.
Yeah, so I would say Desmond Stevens has been pretty good for us this year. He's a 3-year player for us. He missed all of last year with an injury. I think he only played 2 or 3 games for us. So he's been up with us since a freshman. He plays the guard and the post for us. Pretty good defender, really athletic guy. Brody Cozen in the post. He's been pretty good in the post for us on both ends, kind of working that inside-out action. John Call's been a big player for us, and he'll be back in the coming few weeks here. Braden Wiley's been playing our point guard. Had a big game last week Wednesday night with 23 points. He's been filling that role and doing a nice job. Cav Dighton, 2-year player for us, and Matt Flieger, 2-year player for us as well, has kind of filled out those roles, knocked down some threes, play good defense, and been really good for us.
Yeah. So kind of talk about where do you think your team is at right now at this point in the season heading into tonight's game?
Right. So, I like we have a long way to go. We're still making young mistakes, immature mistakes, on both ends of the floor, and we're trying to clean those things up. We've been fortunate enough to play 8 games already, which has been good. So we see things, we go back, we watch film, we figure out what we can do better. But I like where we're at right now. I like where we're heading. This is a good group to coach. I think the big thing with us is like our kids aren't afraid of the moment. We will compete. We know we're going to be in most games are going to be close games for us, and we're not afraid of that moment. I think we've won some ugly games, so that gives us the confidence to know that when we do start playing better on both ends of the floor, particularly offense, that we'll get better.
Yeah. So kind of looking at where the league's at this year is I know that, of course, you have some non-conference games and trying to find those with the additional games the MHSA put in. But where do you think the OAA is at this year?
Yeah, so we're in the OA red, and we only have 5 teams in the red this year. So Ferndale, North Farmington will be really solid, as well as then, got Oak Park and Rochester Adams are very solid as well. And then us. So we only play 8 league games this year out of our 22 games. So it's going to be, all those games are going to be, you look when you go play those guys, like, we know we're going to be in a dogfight, and it's going to be, we have to play really well to win, those games. So
coming into, you said you only played 8 league games. What was it like trying to find teams to schedule games? But from what it sounds like from all the coaches that I've talked to, it's like, there's a lot of teams that are like, yeah, we want to play you guys.
Right. No, this has probably been the most challenging to find games. Not only did we add 20 to 22 games, our league dropped from in the red from 6 teams to 5 teams. So we have 4 divisions in our OAA. So sometimes you'll have 6 teams, sometimes you'll have 5 teams in that division. So next year we'll probably go back up to 6, I think, and that'll help out. But definitely been a challenge finding teams. Scheduling was one of the most difficult things to do over the course of the off season, just finding teams to play and matching up dates.
So what was it like? Who were some of the teams that you found? Because you found some pretty good teams.
We did, yeah. So we haven't played Lakeland in a couple of years, so we returned the favor to go back to their place. Wall Lake Western is a team we haven't played in a while. Fenton we haven't played in I don't remember when. So we're reaching out to some other teams. Detroit Redford, we played as well. They came to our place. We're going to go back there next year. We played UAD Jesuit down at Callahan Hall, which was a great game for us, even though they beat us pretty good. We learned a lot from it. Our usual Flint Carmen Ainsworth, we played them. So, we played some guys that we played in the past, but we've also reached out and got some new ones too.
Yeah, for sure. And lastly, heading into tonight, what do you want to see out of your team in these next few weeks? As we head into really the Tuesday, Friday portion of the season.
Right. So what I look at it right now is if we played Ferndale tonight, we wouldn't beat them. So we have 2 weeks to kind of figure things out and get better. So that's what we're kind of using these non-league games for. Like, how are we going to get better? With John Call being out, how are we going to find guys to step up and play and get us ready in 2 weeks when we do play Ferndale and North Farmington, our first 2 league games, to give us a chance to go in there and compete with those guys. Make shots, defend better, get better continuity on the offensive end. Those are all things that we're looking for. Clean up the little mistakes, the weak side drops on defense that we continue to make, the communication issues that we continue to have on the floor, like cleaning those things up. The more comfortable we get, I think in these next couple of weeks, it's going to help us out. We lost 7 seniors from last year's team. So there's a lot of guys that had been in our program for a few years. So, with new guys comes new challenges.
All right. Well, Tim Wasilk, thank you so much for coming on and talking with us, and best of luck tonight against Lakeland. And we'll have you on sometime later on the year.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, Casey. Much appreciated. Happy New Year.